What is going on, guys? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video. And as you can see, I am on my computer because we are doing the tiers video, which is backed by popular demand because you guys enjoyed the first one so much. So I thought, why not continue it since you guys liked it so much? So that is what I'm doing. So again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe if you have not done so. Follow me on my social media accounts, links down below for that. As always, go ahead and do so and turn on the post notifications so you're notified every time I drop a new video. So today, we're talking NBA tiers with the teams that are going to Orlando for the restart. So basically, I'm going to be ranking all 22 teams that are going to Orlando for the restart into the following tiers. We got contenders, obviously, which teams I believe have a legitimate shot to win an NBA championship. We got fringe contenders, which teams that I believe maybe they're close to winning a title, you know, if things fall right for them. We got pretenders, teams that people think have a chance to win, but they really don't. We've got first round exits, teams that are going to make the playoffs, but they're going to get knocked out right away. And finally, we got teams that won't even qualify for the playoffs because, again, 22 teams are going there, but only 16 will go to the playoffs and then go from there. So one last thing, if you have not grabbed my DFS course for the NBA as well, go ahead and do so. Daily Fantasy Sports course for that, link in the description with the NBA season starting. Go ahead and you're going to want to cop that. So let's get started. And we've got the Rockets up first. And the Rockets are an interesting team, obviously, with the biggest difference this year being the addition of Russell Westbrook. Last couple of seasons, obviously, the best thing they're known for is getting knocked out by the Warriors, but obviously the Warriors are not around anymore. And so the Rockets, actually, I do believe this year, I'm going to say that they have a legitimate shot to be somewhat of a contender. I'm going to say fringe contender. And to me, I really feel like the Rockets are trying to take a new approach with the small ball. I'm not saying it's going to work, but at least they're trying something different, right? Come on, Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. The Rockets weren't getting that. Now, that could backfire on them because, again, there's a bunch of teams that have size in the playoffs, and how are you going to stop, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis? But, again, I believe the Rockets are fringe contenders, okay? Speaking of Nikola Jokic, we got the Denver Nuggets up next, and I believe they're in the same category. I think they're fringe contenders. The Nuggets are just right on the cusp here, and it's funny because the Rockets have the star power, but they don't necessarily have the depth, versus the Nuggets have the depth, but don't necessarily have enough star power outside of Nikola Jokic, right? I mean, you got players that are emerging. Jamal Murray, I like. Obviously Michael Porter Jr. has a bright future. Will Barton's a nice player. Paul Millsap. You get my point here. A lot of depth, but not a lot of star power. So again, that's why they fall right outside of that contender status for me. We got the Portland Trailblazers up next, and to me, the Blazers, right now they're on the outside looking in. They're the 9th seed. So again, technically, they're not even in the playoffs, but I do believe they get in. And to me, the Blazers are pretenders. Even if they get in, could they get past the first round? Sure, we've seen them do that the past couple of seasons. But to me, I just don't see enough with this team to compete legitimately for the NBA championship. They're too heavily dependent on Dame and CJ. Now, Yusuf Nurkic is expected to come back, but let's see what level he's at in his return. And then obviously Trevor Ariza, he's sitting out the restart. So they do have Carmelo Anthony there. I think Zach Collins is coming back too. So again, I like the squad, but again, just not enough to me to put them in any sort of contender status. I'm going to say pretender for them. Moving on up to the Phoenix Suns, and I'm sorry the Suns won't even qualify for the playoffs. They're a nice young team. I like Devin Booker. I like DeAndre Ayton. But it is what it is. Orlando Magic. I believe they will make the 8th seed, but that will lead to a first-round exit because the Milwaukee Bucks will absolutely throttle them. Okay, it's going to be a sweep like we've never seen before. Actually, we have seen before. It's just going to be a sweep, folks. I'm sorry. The Magic, again, they're nothing special, okay? The only thing for the Magic is they're going to have home court advantage because they're playing in Orlando, but you get my point here. Moving on to the Utah Jazz, and the Jazz are interesting to me. I'm going to say the Jazz are pretenders. Okay, I almost wanted to put them in fringe contenders, but folks, I'm telling you right now, we don't know if Rudy Gobert, obviously dealing with the fact that he had COVID, is he back to 100%? I hope so. Let's see. Donovan Mitchell, same thing, right? But if they are back to even 100%, Bojan Bogdanovic was a big loss for them. He's out. He's having, I think he had an injury, a surgery or something, and he's not going to join them for a restart. They're losing their starting small forward. Yeah, Joe Ingles can slide in, maybe Royce O'Neal, but again, that's a big loss to me. I just don't see enough here, so I think they're a pretender. Indiana Pacers, I mean, Victor Oladipo's sitting out the restart. I think they're an absolute pretender. Domantas Sabonis is nice, but again, this Indiana team, they'll make it tough for whoever they face. Maybe they'll win a game, but again, they're a pretender. Finally, we got the Clippers. Okay, the first contender, real legitimate contender on this list. I mean, folks, the deepest roster arguably in basketball. I mean, the two best perimeter defenders. You can make the argument for Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. The list goes on and on with the depth they have. Marcus Morris, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams. I mean, come on now. We know the Clippers, how good they are. Miami Heat. A lot of people are high in the Heat this year. Obviously, they're a very, very solid team. Jimmy Butler was their biggest acquisition. Bam Adebayo's virtual lock, I think, to win most improved. But to me, I think the Heat... it's between pretenders and fringe contenders. But, folks, I can't do it. I don't see enough here. I'm going to say the Heat are still pretenders here. Like I said, I like the team. I like Jimmy Butler. I like Bam Adebayo. Tyler Hero's a nice player. But I just don't see enough here for me to say that the Heat, I think, can challenge the likes of, a Milwaukee, which is the next team coming up next. And the Bucks are obviously, to me, contenders. They've been the best team in the East all season long. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to win his second straight MVP most likely. I mean, what else is there to say about Milwaukee? I mean, in the East, there's no comparison. The only teams you can compare to are in the West, okay? Moving on to the OKC Thunder. They've been a very, very good surprise team this year. Chris Paul has really turned around that team. But I'm sorry, they're pretenders to me. They're not going to do anything legitimate in the playoffs, okay? Moving on, Sacramento Kings. Yeah, they're not even going to qualify here. Nice team. De'Aaron Fox, I like him, but nope. San Antonio Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge is out. So, yeah, they're not qualifying either. I'm sorry. Toronto Raptors, a lot of people are high on the Raptors this year. Nick Nurse could potentially win Coach of the Year for what he's done with this team after they lost Kawhi Leonard, but I'm sorry. I don't think they're ready yet. They're a pretender to me. Pascal Siakam, very nice player, but I just don't think they have enough yet. And I don't think they're ready yet. Again, it's funny saying that because obviously they won last year, but when I say they're not ready yet, I'm talking about Pascal Siakam being the guy to lead you because he's the best player on the team. It's not Kyle Lowry, it's Siakam. But again, you lost Kawhi Leonard. I just don't see how you can win the championship without him. The New Orleans Pelicans. I do believe the Pelicans will get into the playoffs, or they have a very good chance to. But to me, again, this team, certainly they're not ready. They're first-round exit. Look, so much young talent with Brandon Ingram, with Zion Williamson, Lonzo Ball on this team. But, again, you need some time to develop. You need some time to, obviously, compete and contend. So I don't see it there. Moving on to the Boston Celtics. And a lot of people like the Celtics this year. I think they have a chance to be a fringe contender, folks. I mean, this team is super-duper stacked. You got Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward. I mean, these players, just those top four, I mean, very, very good players. So, again, I like the Celtics. They have a chance to do something special. If all their four players get clicking at once here and, even with the bench, Enes Kanter's a nice big man. They got Daniel Tice, So, very, very solid team, okay? Philadelphia 76ers, I'm going to say they're a fringe contender as well. I believe the Sixers, if they get hot, folks, I mean, they almost went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, okay? If it wasn't for that Kawhi Leonard shot, I mean, the Sixers are going, okay? Come on now. So put some respect on their name. Joel Embiid, the best center in the NBA, I believe. You got Ben Simmons, who to me can do everything at an elite level besides shoot the ball, right? And then you got Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson, Fortan Korkmaz is having a good year. I mean, this team is stacked. Top to bottom, they're stacked. I think they're a fringe contender. If they get hot, look out. they could come out of these. I'm just saying. Okay? Boston and Philly, those are the two teams that can give Milwaukee a run for their money. Moving on to Brooklyn Nets, and I mean, before I thought maybe the Nets are first round team, I think they'll miss the playoffs outright. I'm sorry, folks. I mean, no KD, no Kyrie. Spencer Dinwiddie has COVID too. He might not play. DeAndre Jordan's out with COVID. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't do it. Wizards, they shouldn't even be here for the restart, honestly, even if they make the playoffs, because I don't think Nets will now. Again, they're a first round exit. The Mavericks, they're a pretender to me. Love Luka Doncic, the best young player in the NBA. You make the argument between him and Zion, but again, they're just not ready yet. Like Kristaps, like Luka, but they're just not there yet. Memphis Grizzlies, yeah, they'll even if they make the playoffs first round exit, love Ja Morant, but need more time. Finally, the Lakers. Come on now. Contender. This is one of the only three teams I believe has a legitimate chance to win the NBA title this year. What more can you say? LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Yeah, the loss of Avery Bradley hurts a little bit, but they signed J.R. Smith. They got Danny Green as depth as well. They have Deion Waiters. People forget that. Dwight Howard is still there. Rajon Rondo. I mean, again, folks, they have the two of the top five best players in the world, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They're a contender. Enough said. So there you have it. Full list of teams going to Orlando for the restart. Let me know if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.